Okay, here we are at the grave of Samuel and Elizabeth Herbst. Elizabeth Herbst was originally Elizabeth Lady, that is Daniel Lady's sister, and she married Samuel Herbst, who was one of the more affluent men in town. He was on the borough council. He was involved with the Ag Society. He was involved with the fire department. He was an elder at St. James Lutheran on York Street, and big wheel in town. He owned part of the Eisenhower farm at one point, and was even put in charge of the town to deal with the dead by Meade as the Union Army was leaving following the battle. There's accounts that Meade talked to this gentleman here to start organizing for the burial of the dead. So this man would have been very important. He was a reaper agent at one point. He had warehouses. He used to run trains to Baltimore in his advertisements, and so he was Joe Gettysburg, if there ever was a Joe Gettysburg, back in the 1800s. And he happened to marry Daniel Lady's little sister. Unfortunately, they lost two children very young. Here's Daniel H. and then Mary. They died before he reached 11, Daniel did, and it looks like she reached about 8 or almost 9 years old. They did have one other son that survived to adulthood named Jacob C. And I believe he's buried here in the Evergreen Cemetery, although I'm not 100% sure. But those were the three children that the Herbsts have. Only one lived to adulthood, and they're buried here next to their young children that they lost in the 1850s, late 1850s. So here we are, Daniel Lady family, Elizabeth Lady Herbst and her very successful husband Samuel. One last note before I close this quick video is that obviously he died after she did by a number of years, and when I pulled his will recently, he made mention in there to make sure he had a similar tombstone to that of his wife, so they can be buried together here in the Evergreen Cemetery, right near Elizabeth Lady's parents, who were buried just kind of over in that direction. And of course, if you look over in that direction, you can see Culp's Hill over there, and maybe you can even see the Culp's Hill Tower. But here we have a lot of the Lady family buried in this section of the Evergreen Cemetery right here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Cool.